right, good evening, Hobby World. Thanks for joining us live tonight for episode 38 of Personal Rips and Hobby Chat. Joining me tonight, as always, is Ken from a Beans B Card blog. I'm Herman, a.k.a. 3B Collections. We're here every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern to talk about our hobby and yours. Feel free to join in the conversation and chat. So we missed last week.
We did.
We had a holiday, so we spent time with our family, and hope everyone else did too. So we felt like tonight we was going to start out the show by talking about maybe what we did on Memorial Day and in the past week. Not necessarily hobby related, but Ken, I don't know if you want to start, but you can if you want. Or I can start.
I can go. Yeah, we didn't actually do a whole lot, like anything special. Obviously Sunday was the Indy 500, which is like my other Christmas day. It's funny for me because it's not even so much about the race, it's about the lead up to the race and the radio shows about the history of the race. So it's kind of like Christmas, like where the day after the Indy 500 is kind of like the day after Christmas. You're just kind of like, oh. I gotta wait another 11 months. Like for Christmas, it's not about like the presents and all that kind of stuff. It's just the whole month of leading up to it. So it's kind of how I feel about the 500. But yeah, we started to get back to normal. And I say we, I'm talking about my wife and I. We've already hit 7 outdoor concerts this year. My town, Arlington. Yeah, my Arlington does free downtown shows Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights. So we went, what nights did we go last weekend? I think we went, Saturday. Actually, Saturday we went to one of her friends' places because her son graduated. But yeah, we've been going to some shows and just doing that. And it's kind of where we're at. And like I said, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen all the pictures. Because we do all those shows. We've done 7 now.
Yeah. And
free music, just chill, relax. We've got our setup with our chair and our table and our food and our cooler. Awesome.
Yeah. And you say they do that once a month or every other weekend?
No, it's every weekend.
Every weekend.
Every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They will stop. I can't remember if it's sometime in July or August. They stop for a month just because it's so hot.
Yeah.
They stop. They have a spring season and a summer season.
Right, I got you.
But yeah, listen to the Indy 500. Did some yard work. Got some stuff done out there, and yeah, I had Alexa out there and just listened to the radio broadcast. Didn't even watch it.
Just listen and don't watch.
Just listen to the IndyCar radio call. Yep. I grew up listening to the radio a lot because we didn't have cable growing up. So most of my sports were listening on the radio. So it's just,
right.
It's just, I'm used to it and I love it.
Good deal. So yeah, we got Diego in here and Bo, and welcome. Glad y'all didn't forget about us.
Man, we're on the big screen. We're on the big screen.
Got us on the big screen.
With my face, I hope there's no women or children there. They will be frightened. I have a face made for radio.
All right. What did I do? Let's see. So Memorial Day weekend, I've actually managed to get up the nerve to cook my first brisket.
Brisket.
My wife bought this thing a month ago, and I still didn't feel like I was quite ready to try it. I've cooked about every type of meat you can think of on the smoker, grill, or whatever, except for a brisket, and I finally got the nerve last weekend to try it. So I laid it out. I went back through all my YouTube videos. I watched, seen how everybody done it, and so Saturday night I decided I'm gonna put it on. Put it on Saturday night. Scared to death to leave it because I've never left my smoker, which I mean I've had it cooking all day, but I've never just put something in the smoker and left it overnight while I slept.
Okay, so that tells me you have an electric smoker.
No, I have a pellet smoker.
Oh, okay. So okay, so pellet. It stays more consistent than a charcoal one, I take it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because when I get up to do mine, I get up at like 2 in the morning and start, and I'm up. Like there's no going back to sleep.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, this one's I've got the Pit Boss, the Austin XL grill / smoker, which I also have a Pit Boss vertical smoker, which I love, by the way. But the grill, the Austin XL, I wanted to try it on it because it's a little more forgiving because you can move it around away from the heat and over the heat. With a vertical, you're like over the burner, and that's where you have to be. So, but yeah, so my wife laughed at me, but I actually took a hammock and stretched it out up on our carport, and that's where I camped out for the night. Mainly because I knew I was going to get up 2 or 3 times during the night and go out and just check on it. So, and I didn't want to go tromping through the house, open the front doors, throw the dogs up, and go out there just to check on it, to come right back in and do it all over again. So I'm like, you know what? It was a cool night. It was kind of breezy. I stretched the hammock out in the carport and I camped out. And I may have indulged in a few adult beverages, but hey, whatever. But cooked it all night Saturday night, got it early Sunday morning, wrapped it, put it back on there, turned the temperature up, cooked it for about another, I think, 8 hours, pulled it off, let it sit for a couple hours. And to be my first one, I was pleased. I was scared to death that I was going to dry it out, but it was not bad. And I told you before the show that my only gripe about it was my choice of dry rubs that I used before I cooked. I should have just went basic like we talked and just used salt and pepper and left it at that. But other than that, as far as the texture and the way it cooked, I was more than pleased. So
I've probably done 5 or 6 of them, and only one of them has not been quite what I'd hoped for. And with me having a charcoal one, it's a little tougher for me to maintain my temperature. So, but yeah, it's scary. It's scary too because the damn price of the meat. If it comes out bad, you're out. Yeah, I don't know how much y'all spend on yours. I mean, I buy mine when they're on a good sale, and I freeze them.
Yeah, that's the way we did this one. But even on sale, a brisket is not a cheap chunk of meat.
Oh no, and so 2 questions I have for you. A, how many pounds was yours?
13.
Okay, so that answers the second question. The brisket wasn't just the flat or just the point.
No, it's the whole brisket.
Yeah, and that can be intimidating. And of course, the first time that you're going through and you're trimming that fat off of there and all that, you just don't know 100%. No, I get it. I get it. But as you continue to do them, it'll get better. It'll get better. There's still some parts of it I haven't quite mastered yet, but
yeah,
I'm getting there.
Let me go ahead and give a warning. You may have saw the lights flash behind me, but we're right in the middle of a serious thunderstorm right now. So if I go black, you know why.
Oh, so that means they got to listen to me. Just gonna you're gonna have no viewers when you come back.
Well, I mean, I thought we were good until I just saw the lights flash. I'm like, wait a minute, this might be, yeah. But no, yeah, it's just like if you mess up a rack of ribs, it's a $20 rack of ribs. That's one thing, but a $60, $70, $80 brisket is completely different.
And if you mess up a rack of ribs, I mean, let's be honest, I'm not doing a rack of ribs at a time. I'm doing 2 or usually 3.
Right.
So, you've got others if one of them doesn't turn out quite the way you want, because, things happen. But, I'm the same way. I've got a vertical smoker, too. I actually prefer the vertical smoker. But obviously, you can't really do. I mean, I don't know how you would do brisket on it because the brisket is pretty long.
Yeah, well, my it'll actually fit in mine because I've got the I can't remember. I can never remember the model of it, but if you looked up the Pit Boss, I mean they're about 30 inches wide.
Oh, okay. Mine's not that big. That's why mine's a little
I can
smaller.
smoke 4 turkeys. I can smoke 4 turkeys on this thing at one time. So if that tells you anything,
Yeah, my vertical, I can do 2 turkeys or 2 turkey breasts, not full turkeys. I just do the turkey breasts.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I use
you've done brisket before.
Yeah.
Do you wrap yours or do you cook it unwrapped the whole time?
It starts out unwrapped and then it gets wrapped.
What do you wrap yours in?
I actually have the peach paper.
Okay, so that's what I did the first time. Next time, go ahead.
Well, I went to a restaurant supply and I bought a huge roll that I've maybe gone 10% of the way through. I mean, I bought it. It was like $75. I mean, it was like the industrial size because you can't just pick that stuff up at your local Kroger or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I actually,
but yeah, that's what
I found some in the grilling section at Walmart.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
a smaller
news to me.
roll.
I didn't know you could do that. Well, no, that would be great. I mean, that would be great. You know, not having to put out $75 at one time.
But I think the next time I'm going to try 10 for.
I did foil the first couple times, and then I saw that it was, a lot of people saying use the peach paper. So I got the peach paper, and once you paid $75 for that roll, you're just going to keep using that damn peach paper until it's gone. Yeah, I mean, but what else am I going to do with it? Aluminum foil has multiple uses. Peach paper in a house doesn't have a whole lot of use.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we can get into a little hobby talk now, unless you've got something else going on that you want to.
No, I'm good. Lead the way.
So, where do we want to start at? Do we want to start with the unsavory characters?
You are the captain, and I am along for the ride, so you let me know.
Matt is still talking about beef.
Just sent my order for my quarter of a beef today. Not 100% sure what he means by that.
I guess he's splitting it 4 ways with somebody. Maybe he's getting the front left and somebody else is getting the rest.
Quarter of a cow?
Quarter of a cow. All right, so we had talked earlier about the unsavory characters and collecting cards of them, and you named a few names, and I named a few names. One of which for me was with the recent news of he said quarter of a cow.
Ah, okay, very nice.
But with the recent news of Marcel Ozuna and the charges that he's facing, it's like, if you are a collector of, say, like Marcel Ozuna, I mean, how does that affect how you feel about your collection? Do you drop it and change? Do you keep going? And I guess it just depends on the person. Some people wouldn't mind. It's like whatever. Some people, like me, I mean, domestic violence is domestic violence. I was raised, you don't hit a woman, you don't touch a woman. If she is giving you that much heartache, you walk away. And for something like that, I know he's not going to, but I just seen him not even come back to Atlanta. He much less collect any of his anything. So, I mean, yes, I'm going to have a Marcel Ozuna card in my collection because I want to complete the team set. So it's going to be there. I may even go as far as to turn it upside down, or turn it
upside down or backwards.
Turn it backwards. Just read the stats. Don't even, And like I said, you had named several others that, and some of which I knew about, some of them I didn't. So, I mean, if you want to kind of go through those, I have one other one that I'll bring up toward the end that I'm not sure that there's that many collectors of this guy, and you probably know about it, but I actually had to reach out to somebody to find it. So,
this all kind of started. I posed a Twitter question a few weeks ago, and basically what I said was, does it make you think differently of someone, or does it affect how you think about someone, a person, if they collect some of these unsavory characters? Now, top of mind to me is Kobe Bryant. I don't care if he didn't go to jail. I don't care if he was convicted. We all know he raped a woman. You say the same thing about Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep.
But people collect these people hardcore. And when I see someone say, or just someone that's a Kobe, like, I do think differently about that person, especially when you're like the hardcore, hardcore, this is all I'm looking for. It rubs me the wrong way. How can you be collecting Kobe Bryant and be this huge Kobe Bryant fan and look your mother, your wife, your daughter, your nieces, any of the women in your life, how can you look them in the eye knowing that you're a big fan of this guy and I collect this guy? Sports are just sports. Athletes are athletes. That's not life. Just because they're good at whatever sports ball they play doesn't excuse them from being a disgusting human being. I don't know, call me crazy, but I've lived 42 years, and it's not been real hard for me to not rape somebody. It's not hard to actually be a good human being. And, the other one that gets me especially is Michael Vick and dog fighting. And I get so tired of hearing, oh, he paid his time. Oh, bullshit. You can't tell me that a grown-ass man that was 20-something years old didn't know that that was wrong. He is a piece of shit. And if there's any justice in this world, he will get mauled by a dog to death. And I say that there are no bad dogs, only bad owners. And in general, I do believe that. But again, you have dogs that you don't know. Again, I have 3 dogs. They're all shelter dogs, so we don't know what they've been through in the past. Right. And one of ours is a pit bull, but we don't know what she went through when she was in the streets or when she was with another owner. I'm not trying to keep getting into that, but Omar Vizquel would be another one. But again, where you said Ozuna, Vizquel, those aren't guys that are probably heavily collected by a bunch of people. I'm definitely, the Kobe, the Vic, and the Roethlisberger was one I hadn't even thought of until I was literally talking and said him. And I'm not talking about like you're a team collector and you have the card for your team set, or you just come into them in a trade. I'm not meaning you dump every card. I'm talking these hardcore player collectors. I'm sorry, that makes me think differently of you. If you're collecting that person and not doing it, I guess there is one guy that does collect some of, I think he calls them killer cards, but he's kind of collecting them sarcastically, if you get what I mean. He's not doing it because he admires them. And I'm sorry, maybe I'm wrong. I can't separate what a player does on the field. I can't admire him on the field if he's a piece of trash off the field. And that's just my way of looking at it. Right, wrong, and different. And I'm sure that many will tell me I'm wrong, but I think more will agree with me than won't.
I'm sure. Yep.
And there's any number of things. And I mean, there are certain, I find it interesting how many people love Kobe Bryant, but hate, and then how many hate Barry Bonds. Which one was really a more disgusting human being? Bonds took steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that sucks. It's unfortunate. It is a shame that he broke Hank Aaron's record. I get all of that. But, I mean, it's like there's got to be some level of some things are worse than others. Right is right, wrong is wrong, but there are some things that are worse than others. And it's just interesting. I'm not supporting Bonds in any way, shape, or form because I don't like him either. But I guess I'm just throwing that out there that at least what he did was what he did. He didn't, do something legal cause him to someone else. Yeah, Addison Russell's another good one I hadn't thought of, but yeah, that's another more recent one that we've talked about that probably did have some hardcore collectors. I mean, because he was big time prospect. So that's another great example, Bo. So anyway, that was my soapbox. I don't really know that I have that much more to say to that,
Right.
but I didn't get into too many arguments on Twitter, but I had people again trying to kind of explain why they would still collect them. And you're not going to give me anything that I'm going to change my mind. It's not to the point where I'm not going to get into Twitter arguments over it, and that's why I have this nice platform right here to vent, and I can be done. Okay, but Bonds, but that's an attitude. I mean, there's a lot of them that got bad attitudes. I'm not going to hate necessarily on a guy for a bad attitude. That's not in the same realm of Kobe Bryant or Ben Roethlisberger or Michael Vick. So, I get why people don't like him, but I'm saying it seems like there should be some degree of hatred or despise on somebody.
Yeah. And, with all that being said, and this happened, and like I said, and thanks, Rich, if you're watching, but I had heard this before, and I had to reach out to Rich to refresh me on which set it was, but it was 1958 Tops that they actually, 1958, they actually pulled a card from the set because of and I'm sure I'm gonna butcher the name, Ed Bouchie, rookie card number 145, because he was convicted of exposure to, I think it was he had 2 counts of exposure where he had exposed himself to 2 girls. And Topps pulls the card from the set.
Never heard that one.
Oh, I'll send you the link, or I'll see if I can pull it up now. He's got a link here.
That's a new one to me.
Let's see.
No, I get that, Diego. And like I said, I guess I came off a little strong, but I was just meaning there needs to be. I'm not saying I don't understand why Bonds isn't likable. I get that because I don't like him either because he is an arrogant, smug son of a gun. But what he did versus what some of these other guys do that are idolized and worshipped, they're just, they're not even close. And that's kind of where I'm at on that.
I posted the link in chat, but basically that is just the story of what happened and what all he went through and come back. But
hey, I'll be right back.
All right. But yeah, they had actually pulled the card from the set and never released it, and it's never been released. So I thought I think I actually heard that on Dr. Beckett's show with Rich. They were talking about it. And when Ken was talking about this topic that we're talking about now, that was the first thing that come to mind. So I reached out to him to get it. So he was a Cubs, and he was a Philly when this happened. And I think the 58 was his rookie year. And I don't know if this is the actual card that was supposed to be released or it was a recreation, but let me share this real quick. That's the 1958 number 145. The card never was released, and from what I've read, all the cards were destroyed and never was released. So if you have a 1958 top set, it's missing 145, and it'll never be. I guess it's still considered complete because that card never was released. So,
yeah, I wonder if any of those ever were found. You know how they destroy cards and they still get out. The Alex Gordons or whatever the case may be. But I'm going to assume not. I'm assuming that would have been mentioned. But
remind me to never challenge Bo to baseball trivia because he knows his stuff. But yeah, that's what the article had said, that how he was rookie of the year, or not, he was runner up for rookie of the year, and then his rookie card just gets pulled to never be released. So I guess technically and I want to say 59 or a year or two later they made a card of him. Because the article I showed, they was picturing a card of a year or two later when he came back into baseball after he had, I guess, served his time. He went to he went to some mental health facility for a while, and it was the article. I mean, you got to read the article. He went through the ringer for, I guess they just deemed him mentally incapable or whatever. So,
I mean that's just one I've never heard. So hey,
here you go.
57 and then 59 to 62.
So he did have a 57 card, because I was under the assumption that at 58 was going to be his rookie year. And here's another one, John Wheatland.
I guess I don't remember the Wetland. I mean, I'm guessing it's.
But I mean, my question is, like, if they did that in 58 with him, what stops them from doing it today? With which I'm sure with like the Ozuna deal. I mean, he hadn't been to courts yet, which, from everything that's been told, there's so many eyewitnesses. There's no doubt there, but with something like that, what's to stop him from just pulling the card?
It's just different times, different people.
I mean, I guess, is it just more acceptable nowadays? I mean,
yeah, I just think, I just think you lived in a more conservative society at that time.
Right.
I guess, not trying to be political, but just the reality is, yes, less things were accepted then, probably, or just, ignored than they are now. So that would be my thought. I mean, they used, if we want to talk about tops, they used Bob Clemente for how many years? Nobody called him Bob. So different times, that was a different time, and you wouldn't dare do that today. You wouldn't dare edit somebody's first name. So anyway.
All right, so let's take a break from this. Let's move into the to our YouTube shout outs.
Oh, hey.
And let's see. Where am I at? We'll go with I'll go ahead and go with Patrick. It's Patrick's baseball cards and TTMs. He's got what would we say, about 70 videos out now. He's up to, last count right before we went on, he's up to 78 subscribers, and he shares his through the mail. He does some pack opens, like some older packs. He does his mail days, which is a lot of older vintage and some just random junk wax and whatever. But he also, here lately, he's been doing a lot of through the mail returns, and he's gotten some pretty nice ones back. I'm posting his link here. That's the link to Patrick's YouTube channel. But all around, I mean, his videos are great. Hadn't watched all of them. I think I'm about 20 into them. I kind of started at the beginning, or not the beginning, but the end, and working my way back. But he has some great videos, and some of the cards that he's getting through the mail, like I said, it's pretty big names. I mean, he's got one that kind of made me a little jealous, was the Greg Maddux that he got recently. So y'all jump over and give him a follow and check him out. It's Patrick's baseball card and through the mail. TTMs, to be more exact. And let's see. I'll throw yours up.
I'm talking and forgot I was muted. Yeah, that's something I got to get back into, is back into the TTMs a little bit. I definitely enjoy watching those channels and seeing who guys get back, and I'm like, ooh, do I want to send to him? Those channels are definitely some of my favorite ones, to be honest. Ready for me to go on mine?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so mine is, he currently has 63 subs. We just checked before the show. And his channel name is Poke Checking Cards. So for those of you that know, poke checking is something that goalies will do. So it is a hockey-centric channel. I know not everybody's into hockey. That's cool. Whatever. And if it totally makes you not want to watch, that's fine. But I think collectors like to hear other collectors talk about their collections and learn things and see things. So he has a couple of things. He does a hockey collectors roundtable. It's not like our roundtable where we got the Brady Bunch going on. I think he's usually got just 3 other guys, but just talking, obviously, just a lot of things, hockey collectors. And then the one, and this is what definitely got me to mention him today, was last week he did his second collectors interview series, and he did it with a guy I know, and now I'm having a brain fart of what he is on Twitter. Crease Collector. Crease, like the Holy Crease, CREASE, COLLECTOR. And I have known him from back when I was doing message boards 10 years ago, and doing my super collection of Andrew Shaw and things. But he was on there, and it was just such a fun listen. He super collects Jonas Enroth, who is definitely was not an upper tier player, but because of that, it does make it more affordable and easier to get, some of those rare cards. And of course you still miss some, but it's just a fascinating listen. I think it was about an hour interview. And again, super player collectors interest me. I like to know why. I like to hear the stories. I like to hear stories, whether it's player super collectors or not. Those are some of my favorite YouTube channels as well. Ones that tell stories that don't just show cards, but tell stories on the who, the why, etc. So yeah, if you like hockey cards, check it out. If you like hearing other player or other collectors talk about their cards, it's a good channel. He, the guy that runs the channel, he is also a goalie collector. So he did a mail day and had some very cool looking patches on a mail day last week. So that's why, like I said, definitely a true collector type channel. If that's what you want, and you're not looking for the latest who to buy, because they're not gonna tell you that stuff. They're all collectors.
Right. Well, since you mentioned the collectors roundtable or whatever, and I'd kind of thrown this out to you earlier. Something that I'd like to start doing, and it doesn't have to be every month, but once a month, I'd like to invite it's someone on that that isn't usually on here, or anybody that's watching really that wants to come on and just talk about your hobby, talk about your collection, what you collect, how you collect, how you store your collection, just anything like that. I mean, that's something that, like you said, other collectors like to hear how other collectors collect. A lot of the way I collect changed a lot from watching YouTube and seeing other people and how they have kind of gotten more of a specific collection of certain things. It's kind of made me focus more in on one or two main things instead of trying to be so broad and feeling like I got to have every hot rookie that comes out and every big star that comes out. It's my collection has gotten more focused just from hearing other people talk about how they collect. You hear somebody talking about it, well, that makes sense. I never thought about that. Or I like the way he does this. I may try to do a little bit of that. And it just, I feel like that I feel like it may help somebody on top of just being interesting to hear how and what other people collect. So
yeah, one thing you said there that just kind of slipped under the radar, but I think it's something that people don't talk about enough is how people store their collections. And then it kind of goes along with what you said of, how they do things, just ideas, things you haven't thought of. But yeah, that's one of the things that I think is fascinating and talk about more. There's a difference in a Barry Bonds player collection. I just use that because I follow a guy that's a Bonds collector, and he's got 5,500 Bonds cards,
right,
for a super collection. Then you got me over here with Andrew Shaw, who he doesn't even have 500 cards.
Yeah.
So what does he do versus what I do? I mean, some people, they may store all theirs in top loaders. Well, 5,500 cards in top loaders, that's a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's just a million different things you can do. And in the case of like my player collection in all, ideally I'd like to binder him up, but I mean, he has a lot of relic cards that are extremely thick. You can't put those in pages. So It's just, like I said, it's a fascinating thing. It was just something you said there that I don't think many people talk about, that I just wanted to bring that up.
Well, yeah, and it's like what I said. It's a lot of the way that I have started storing mine is I've gotten ideas from different people. One being Ben Wilson. I mean, not only him, but he was a part of it. But just hearing different ways of how people store their stuff. I've done a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and just kind of made it my own thing. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But speaking of super collectors, something I don't think I've ever even told this, but I guess I could be fashioned a Rick Kemp super collector, since how that I have every Rick Kemp card that was ever made of Rick Kemp, even though it's only like
what's it got, like cards? 6 cards?
Oh, 50 cards, oh, wow. maybe 50. It may be more like 45.
But he was 80s. He was 80s, right?
Right. So it's like he felt a little more feasible. He started before and ended just before the whole parallel and insert deal, and just never was quite good enough to have cards made of him today. So there's not a whole lot of after his career cards made. So
yeah, it's kind of like Murphy. Like he barely got right toward the tail end last years or the parallel and all that kind of stuff. But then there's the post playing career cards.
Yeah. Oh God.
I mean, he's got how many more? I wonder how many times more post career cards he has than player era.
He definitely has.
I mean, is it like 10 times more? It's got to be something.
It's got to be at least number. It's got to be at least that. It's like you can't even keep up with his post career cards. It's like he has anywhere from 75 to 100 every year. If you consider, if you take into consideration the base version and then all the parallel versions and then the autographs and then the parallel autographs and this and that, and it's crazy because I mean,
and imagine how many if he was in Panini.
Yeah, the man is getting that much attention from the hobby and not in the Hall of Fame.
I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. So you're not going to get an argument from me on that one.
I know.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree, George. They can be cool. I was just referring to the amount of them that are out there. So many of these guys, because they end up in flagship. Well, if they've got flagship and then there's a parallel, there's 20 parallels. There were years of their career where they didn't have 20 cards. So that's just kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah, Legend SPs and flagship. Yeah, I agree with that.
And I do agree with what Diego said. I do like card room videos that show kind of how they're stored and all that.
Yeah.
Usually because usually the guys that do that, they look really solid. You don't get a bunch of people that are unorganized and like me that are showing off their card rooms.
Yeah. And this is like the most organized part of my room. I wouldn't dare turn my camera this way or this way because but now this right here, I picked this up and I missed it when it first came out. I don't know how, but I thought this was pretty cool. And I know you're not a Project 70 fan, but It was the Freddie Freeman. But I thought it was real cool because they added the Hank Aaron in the background. So
I mean, if I was a Freddie Freeman collector, I would have bought that too. I mean, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna jump on you too much for it.
I just wish that they'd have put the Atlanta hat on the Aaron instead of the Milwaukee. Yeah,
I wish they had a few less Yankees in there.
Yeah, well, so far I have not bought a Yankee. I haven't bought a Yankee.
I just know that I just when Bo was talking about it each morning, it was a Yankey a day.
No, another Yankee.
Yeah.
It seemed like they leveled off a little bit though. Am I wrong?
I couldn't even because I haven't seen any. I don't think he's talked about him lately, so I couldn't tell you. He was literally my source of that. I don't watch YouTube content related to Project 70.
Right. Well,
so
I watch Blake, but not every day. But and like I said, his is the only one that I buy. And like I've told it before that I started with his because I went with it on 2020, and I just want to get the complete run and get the gold placard at the end with all the cards on it. So
if it works, yeah.
Yep.
It's getting to be my bedtime.
Yeah. But anyway, back to what we were saying about the I don't know if what we would call it, the collector's corner or whatever. But if you want to show off your collection and you want to come on, reach out to us. Me at 3B Collections or Ken at Beans B Card Blog, or leave a comment on the video, or I thought pretty much everybody here knows how to get in touch with us. But we'd love to have you. We're only going to do this like once a month. We're not going to try to just start invading every show with it. We'll try to space it out and kind of keep it interesting so we don't wear it out like a new toy.
We definitely run out of guests. We definitely run out of guests if we did it too often.
Yeah.
Once a month sounds right.
Right. So let's move into retail. And you brought it up about, and I'm assuming that by bringing this up the way you did, you were meaning it more of a way to take some of the price off of retail or the attention off of retail to put it back on hobby, to where more of leaving retail for the lower end collectors and kids, I'm assuming.
I mean, there's multiple points. But kind of, so my thought was, or the question was, and I don't think I actually put this one on Twitter. Some of these topics I've put out on Twitter and gotten replies and stuff before, but so basically my question was, what if companies put only lower tier autos and relics into the retail and save the better for the hobby? So and you and I have discussed this. I feel like I saw multiple people showing off on Twitter, and you take it for what it's worth. It's Twitter. You don't know if people are telling the truth, but I saw probably 2 or 3 people that pulled Trout Heritage Real One autographs from retail.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying it's wrong to put them in there, but my question would be, how many times have you bought a hobby box and you've ended up with the 4th outfielder for the Rockies as your autograph or your relic? Why can't he go into retail? Because in some cases, the retail is for a lot of people that doing the retail are set builders. They're not worried about that autograph or that relic anyway. So yeah, it's nice if I pull a Mike Trout, but I'm also not going to be that upset if I pull, Joe Smith. So another thing, could that have helped with the retail shelf clearing? If you know that any autograph or any relic that you pull from a retail blaster or pack is going to be that guy that you're not going to get but $1 or $2 for, does that stop some of the shelf clearing? Now, we could go further, and I think the fact that the rookie card has seen a resurgence, I think that actually plays more of a role in the retail aspect. But again, if you know you're not, if you know that historically for the past 5 years, you only get garbage autographs and relics in retail. Does that help kind of prevent some of the shelf clearing, so to speak, or leave more for the kids, whatever you want to say? And then you could help diminish the lack of a ROI on a hobby box if you're not putting that $1 napkin relic in there. And I'm not one that really cares that much about ROI on a hobby box, but the reality is it is a thing in the hobby, and there are a lot of people that do care about, some resale value. Well, maybe now instead of getting that one color fourth outfielder, at least you get, you potentially move up and should get something better. Now, I don't know the logistics of that. How do you say, okay, well, only these guys are going to go, I'm not trying to get into the logistics, the ease of doing it. I'm just throwing it out there. But I feel like that could kind of help a few different ways if we came up with a way to do that. And again, I know that the garbage napkin hits far, far outweigh the star players. So you're still going to have those in hobby boxes. You're just going to have them in there. But if those Trouts and those Acuñas and those Tatis all end up in hobby, at least people have a better shot. And it's just something I thought of. I don't know, because people complain one way or the other. They'll complain about what they get out of a hobby box, and then we complain that we can't find, we can't find retail blasters. So it's just something I thought about and something I threw out there. The guys in the chat are posting a lot of good questions.
It's
the solution.
That's a good point, because and it doesn't help when, was it last year? There was a 1-of-1 pulled out of retail.
And that's a great example. Why should a 1-of-1 be in retail?
And it's a lot of time, depending on the player, a 1-of-1 would be a huge selling point for a hobby box. Of why why you would buy it. You're chasing a Trout 1-of-1. Everybody's buying hobby. Look over here, and Joe Blow's pulled the 1-of-1 of that card out of a blaster or a hanger. Yeah. It's and that kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier about the way Topps is releasing blasters in retail, like hangers, blasters. I'm not sure if they do a megas in them or whatever, but retail's been on the shelf for a week, or it was on the shelf a week ago. It's not there now, but hobby don't even come out the Wednesday.
I got you. That's going to be all you. You'll want to discuss that because I got nothing. I didn't even know that until I heard it from you.
Yeah, it's like the 9th is when Series 2 comes out. Well, I was seeing people post last Friday where they had picked blasters up in Walmart. They're already selling singles and blasters on eBay. Hobby hadn't even came out yet. So it's like retail's where your problem's been this year.
Well, and like I said, let's go back to last year too, because I remember that being an issue with Archives where it was months. It was 2 or 3 months Archives retail had been out before hobby. Now, I get that's not a big flipper product. That's not a big, big hit product. But the reality is you had said when we were talking before the show, again, this is Herman, so but he's 100% right. What about the people that bought 5 cases of this stuff to rip and put on eBay immediately? Well, now the demand is gone for those because the people that picked up these retail blasters turned them around, and now the guys that have the hobby boxes are holding the bag. And on top of that, how much are they paying for these hobby boxes based on what's going on? So they're not only getting screwed, they're getting screwed with no lube. And that was a great point you made that I hadn't even thought about, just because I'm not really in the opening boxes. I'm not in that game. That's not the way I collect anymore. So I just don't even think about it.
And I was thinking of like people like Brett and Becca that, they at one time they were buying 15, 20 cases. I don't think they're getting that now, but not only they're not able to get what they used to get, but now they're cut and they're getting cut again because retail's hit eBay before they do. And I get, flipper, not a flipper or whatever, but at least he opens them and puts sets together, team sets, master sets, and moves them that way. But that makes it hard for him too because he can't get the master sets like he used to.
Is he even doing it at all anymore? I know that he was really stepping back.
He stepped way back, but he's kind of doing it on a different scale.
Okay.
Obviously he's not able to build the master sets like he was. And I think I reached out to him for I can't remember if it was Series 1 or Heritage for a team set, and he couldn't even guarantee me a team set.
Yeah.
That's how little he was getting. So,
and that's a shame because he had so many people that were just those steady people that he provided for. It's it's very unfortunate, but everything's great in the hobby, right, guys? Everything's perfect.
I'm happy.
Well, I'm just saying on Twitter, everything's perfect, and if you say anything bad, you're a gatekeeper.
Yeah, don't be a gatekeeper.
Yeah. There's a lot of horse shit happening in the hobby, and you just discussed some of it. But I'm a grumpy old man. What do I know?
So we've heard.
Yeah. So I've heard. I've been told many times. Not so much in the last few weeks, and definitely not so much since the show started. Have you noticed I'm not as angry on Twitter since I've been doing this with you?
I'm glad that we can give you a place to vent.
It's been good for me. It's been good for me.
Now, if all those people on Twitter come over here and start watching this, then we might
then I'll tell them to eat
comments.
Then I'll tell them to eat a dick over here. I don't really care.
No.
Oh, sorry. Well, that's okay. This isn't supposed to be made for kids, so we're okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
So,
see what else we had. We did we did that.
when you get over here, man, Dan. We'll see what we can make happen. I would be happy to. I would be happy to oblige.
Oh yeah. Oh, man, I saw something when I was. We're finna go back to cooking on a smoker again because Dan's done started it. When I was looking on YouTube at some of the channels, I saw some Korean barbecue that I want to try. I've got to go back and find it because when I saw it, I'm like, I meant to bookmark it because I was going to ask Dan and George about it if they had tried it. And Dan, you may know what I'm talking about, but they just called it Korean barbecue. But it looked so good. The sauce they made, it looked good.
Oh, I'm all about trying the Korean food. I don't remember why, but my mom went back to school later, like when I was in like 4th grade. And I don't remember if it was because of her major or what it was, but she had a lot of Korean. She had made a lot of Korean friends. And so every once in a while we would go over to like where they live and just the smell of them cooking it. Oh, it's just fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Yeah. I've had Korean food a time or two and I remember enjoying it. So yeah, that would be something to do. Maybe what we need to do is just when they come over here, they need to cook for us.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. We'll do a little, co-op. You could cook some Korean for us and we'll do some barbecue.
George said fire meat.
I feel like I don't want my meat on fire.
I think the next brisket I do, I'm gonna make a video.
I've done some real like quick short ones where I just kind of splice them together, but yeah, people do them, but yeah, it wasn't for me to continue to do it. And I'll probably do it again sometimes, but it's just it ends up being like a 5-minute video. Here's what it looks like before. Here's what we did. Just that kind of thing. Maybe if I had a more professional setup or something. But
yeah,
try something where I could just use it.
I think this is why I'd rather do live than I had like videos. My editing skills suck. I can't even figure out how to put a what they call it, a pin at the end of the video for a link. I can't do it. I don't know why. It never works for me.
Well, I don't even edit. All I do is I would take multiple shots on my camera, and I just there's a camera app, or there's an app on the phone that you just pick them and it just puts them all together. That's all I did. There's no editing. I mean, if you've been watching my videos, crap happens during my video, and I'm just like, I'm not. You guys know I'm not editing anything. If it's that bad, I start over. I've had like in the last month, I've had like 3 or 4 where I've gotten like halfway through and had to start over because
the wife calls or something.
Stella starts barking at somebody outside. That's usually what it is.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, I had one where the tripod fell over and I didn't even restart it. I'm just like, oh, sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, here we go.
Tripod down.
Well, I mean, George did lose his phone riding down the road one time, so. I don't know.
Good.
I'm gonna get better.
We got it figured out. They're gonna come make Korean for us, and we'll do some brisket or ribs or something like that.
You do the brisket, I'll do the ribs.
No. You do the brisket, I'll do the ribs. Especially since you've got the pellet smoker, I got to do a lot more work on a brisket than you do. Maintaining that temperature with charcoal is not easy.
Yeah, I found out that I had a hard time. I had a hard time maintaining it too. It kept wanting to go up on me. Where I had it, I tried to keep it set around 200. It kept trying to creep up around 225, 230, and that was one reason why I kept getting up checking it, because I didn't want to just keep creeping up. But I was good.
I think I do mine at 225, but I think part of it too is because I don't have a smoker. I have a grill that has a firebox on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that just causes some challenges and whatnot. It's not exactly a smoker per se. So that might be part of my issue. And then on that one, it's a little easier to maintain temperature than it is vertical, because my vertical is a smaller square, so I don't have a lot of room for a lot of charcoal, especially if I'm trying to do it at a little bit of a higher temperature.
Yeah. That I'm going to try the vertical next time with the brisket. That's the difference.
It'll be interesting.
I think I'm going to try 10-4.
I will be awaiting the results.
Yeah, well, we may have to wait for beef to come back down since it's doubled recently. So.
Oh, I guess I hadn't even realized that.
Yeah, apparently somebody got hacked again or something. Same deal with the gas. I don't know.
Jeez. Well, I got one brisket in the freezer. Probably going to do that over the 4th of July.
I'm hoping that we have a local store here that has a meat truck sale around all the summer holidays. Like they had one right before Memorial Day, and they'll have one right before 4th of July. So I'm hoping that they've got some pretty good meat deals, because I've got a half-empty freezer in here that I want to fill up.
Gotcha. Yeah, my freezer's my freezer was pretty full because we've got a full stand-up deep freeze. It is. We have slowly been chipping away at it. So yeah, not quite as full as it once was.
Well, we have come full circle from talking about briskets and smoking and cooking to talking about cards, and we're back to smoking again. So
thank you, Dan, for that fantastic segue back to bring us full circle.
Yep.
Walking in the mountains and eating weeds. That sounds undelightful.
Yep.
Both of them sound undelightful to me.
Well, we're actually planning a camping trip, so I'm looking forward to that if we can get it to happen.
Nope.
All right. Do what now?
I just said nope, 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 nope.
Uh,
I like my air conditioning.
Well, like I said, if anybody was be interested in coming on and showing off your hobby, sharing your hobby, your collection, your storage ideas, how you store. I mean, you don't have to show off your room if you want to show a few cards, or just tell us about how you collect and who you collect. Definitely love to have you on here to do that. I got 2 boxes of Series 2 coming Wednesday.
You gonna make a video?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna do a break.
Oh, it's for break. Okay, well that doesn't count as a video.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. Can't edit that unless somebody comes to the door.
I didn't realize. I thought it was just for you.
No. Well, I mean, I told you how I do my sets.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
I buy it bulk. And,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
But anywho, all right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and if you don't mind, leave us a like, and if you want to comment and let us know if you'd be interested in coming on and sharing your collection in the upcoming weeks. We'll work something out. Let's see what else we got. Hobby Roundtable coming up on the 19th. For those of you that's been on, if you're wanting to come back on, let me know so I can go ahead and make space and plan for it. Other than that, we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Take care. We out.